Right now on Action 2 News at 4, Vice President Mike Pence visits Marinette Marine, giving hundreds of employees the opportunity to show him their work. Mackenzie Amundson found out why they call today's visit a once-in-a-lifetime experience.
It was also a big day on Capitol Hill as the ambassador to the European Union says there was a clear quid pro quo with Ukraine. Why Republicans were dismissive. Gordon Sondland's testimony.
And tonight, throughout tomorrow, we are going to see soaking rain move into northeastern Wisconsin. But of course, the ground at this point is pretty frozen, so there could be some minor flooding or there could be some standing water. We'll have the details on the forecast as Action 2 News at 4 gets started right now.
From WBAY TV, your first alert station, Action 2 News at 4 starts now.
Good afternoon. Thanks for joining us. It has been a busy day both on Capitol Hill and right here in northeast Wisconsin as Vice President Mike Pence visits Marinette Marine.
We'll have more on today's public impeachment hearings in a moment. But first, we want to get to the latest on the Vice President's visit after remarks at Marinette Marine. Our cameras were with him as he stopped at Mickey Lou Barbecue for a quick bite on the way out of town. Mackenzie Amundson has been following Vice President's visit to Marinette today, and she joins us now live in the newsroom. Mackenzie.
Jeff and Sarah, the people of Marinette Marine embraced Vice President Pence with a warm welcome amidst the ongoing impeachment hearings happening in Washington, D.C. He started his stop with a tour of the future USS Marinette, a littoral combat ship being built on site. Pence praised the men and women in the crowd for their work, keeping the Navy fleet American-made, pointing out that 97% of steel used is also American-sourced. The visit gives some workers a renewed sense of faith that they are not forgotten on Capitol Hill.
Because of the skill and craftsmanship of the people of this community, the Marinette Marine has designed and built more than 1,500 naval vessels, and they're some of the finest ships at sea in the world.
It shows that the administration and that what we do here makes a difference, not just to ourselves, our local economy, and not just the state of Wisconsin, but the entire nation.
The Vice President announced the President's $750 billion defense budget includes the largest shipbuilding budget for the Navy in 20 years. Reaction from IDE and lawmakers on both sides coming up tonight at 5. Jeff?
Mackenzie, thanks. Our own Brittany Schmidt spoke with Vice President in an exclusive one-on-one interview today. You'll hear that tonight on Action 2 News at 5, 6, and 10.
Wisconsin Senator Tammy Baldwin says she's happy to have Vice President Pence touring a part of Wisconsin's shipbuilding industry. She hopes his visit sends a message to President Trump that the industry supports thousands of jobs and the local economy.
He's also often reduced the commitment to the LCS program, and that's the ship that is being produced at Marinette Marine. So we're glad that the Vice President is coming to see our shipbuilding industry, but really he needs to send the message back to the President that this is something that should be supported, not cut.
Turning now to the ongoing impeachment inquiry in Washington, the American ambassador to the European Union, Gordon Sondland, testifies before the House Intelligence Committee that there was a quid pro quo regarding Ukraine. Also testifying today that several other top officials, including Vice President Mike Pence and Secretary of State Mike Pompeo, were in the loop regarding dealings with Ukraine. ABC's Mona Kosar Abdi is on Capitol Hill after following today's testimony.
In the most high-profile hearing to date,
if you would please rise and raise your right hand, I will begin.
U.S. Ambassador to the European Union Gordon Sondland explicitly admitting a key accusation at the center of the impeachment inquiry: the existence of a quid pro quo involving Ukraine and the Trump administration's efforts to have Ukraine's president announce investigations into the 2016 election and the Bidens.
Was there a quid pro quo? As I testified previously, with regard to the requested White House call and the White House meeting, the answer is yes.
Sondland told Congress it was his presumption that directive came from the president and was pushed by Trump's personal attorney, Rudy Giuliani.
President Trump wanted a public statement from President Zelensky committing to investigations of Burisma and the 2016 election. He had to announce the investigations. He didn't actually have to do them, as I understood it.
Sondland adding he also expressed his concerns to Vice President Pence about his presumption that nearly $400 million in military aid was being withheld from Ukraine pending President Zelensky's announcement of the investigations.
Everyone was in the loop.
However, Republicans question Sondland's credibility in recent revisions he made to his past testimony.
You don't have your notes because you didn't take notes. You don't have a lot of recollections. I mean, this is the trifecta of unreliability.
The president this morning reiterated to reporters the specific message he relayed to Sondland.
I want nothing. I want nothing. I want no quid pro quo. Tell Zelensky, President Zelensky, to do the right thing.
Despite Sondland saying that everyone was in the loop, he, like Ambassador Volker, testified that it was only recently that he made the connection that the Burisma investigation involved the Bidens. Mona Kosar-Abdi, ABC News, Capitol Hill.
Some cloudy skies today are expected to bring rain overnight. Meteorologist Jenny Curtis is in the First Alert Weather Center with a look ahead. Jenny?
And we've been tracking these low pressure systems as they've been moving out of the western United States, and now they're getting closer to our area. So they're actually just now getting into the Dakotas as well as into Nebraska. That's currently headed our direction. So in the meantime, we actually did get to briefly see some sunshine around areas like the Fox Cities today, as there was a quick break in the clouds while some of us saw some cloudy skies throughout much of the entire day. Rain is set to begin for us, especially closer to midnight tonight, so we still have a dry evening. And then once that rain does begin around midnight, we're also looking for some strong southerly winds to go with that storm system. That could bring some lakeshore flooding as a possibility. We're going to show you where that's a possibility here in northeastern Wisconsin coming up in the full forecast. Of course, we'll also show you where and when the rain is expected to be and when it will start and when it will stop. Sarah?
Jenny, thanks. In developing news, the body of a missing Michigan teen is found in the Menominee River. 17-year-old Kristen Goromski was found yesterday while officials were searching the water around Stevenson Island, located between Marinette and Menominee, Michigan. As we've been reporting, Goromski went missing November 9th after leaving her mother's home in Menominee. She reportedly left on her own. Menominee police are still investigating exactly what happened. The story is developing. Action 2 News will work to alert you first as we learn more.
Into an Action 2 News update, the woman kidnapped and shot by her ex-boyfriend yesterday is recovering. Today, a source close to Babette Caraballo says her injuries are no longer life-threatening, but she still has a long road to recovery. As we first reported yesterday, Babette's boyfriend, Luis Cardona, held her at gunpoint and drove her to Kewaunee County. Kewaunee County Sheriff's deputies were able to track her location to a rural home. That's where deputies exchanged gunfire with Cardona, killing him. Caraballo was found in his vehicle and taken to the hospital.
We're learning more about the two drivers involved in Tuesday's deadly crash in Manitowoc County. As we first reported yesterday, the two semi-trucks had collided in Maple Grove at the intersection of County Roads K and W just after 1:30 yesterday afternoon. We now know the person who died is a 55-year-old truck driver from San Jose, California. The second is a 27-year-old truck driver from Kiel. He's recovering in the hospital with serious but non-life-threatening injuries. The San Jose driver failed to stop at an intersection, according to authorities, and collided with the other truck. He was ejected from his vehicle and died at the scene. The Kiel driver became trapped and had to be rescued by first responders. Their names are not yet being released.
Deer hunters in Oconto County will have plenty of options for disposing of their deer carcasses properly during the gun deer season. New at 4, how sportsmen's clubs in the county are embracing an expanding state program aimed at preventing the spread of CWD.
The Oconto County Sportsmen's Club Alliance has a message for all deer hunters.
First thing, be safe. And if you're butchering, the carcasses all go in these dumpsters here, not alongside the road or on somebody else's property.
8 clubs in the Alliance are footing the bill for dumpsters like this in the town of Morgan. Throughout the county, there are 8 as part of an effort started last year by the DNR to slow the spread of chronic wasting disease.
An individual deer carcass here or there on private land on the landscape is not really a problem. We acknowledge that. What happens, though, is sometimes in public parking lots in particular, or public roadsides, some town properties, more than one individual comes to that location because they don't know how else to get rid of their deer waste, and they dump them. And that becomes a concern for disease spread.
Deer waste placed in the dumpsters will be taken to a landfill in Crivets. The DNR is applauding Oconto County for being a leading example in the battle to prevent CWD from reaching the wild deer herd in northeast Wisconsin.
When we came to the clubs, it was astounding how the clubs and townships and all the agencies stepped up, and everybody thinks this is a good idea.
Community involvement with the townships, the villages, the clubs, the public, just hunters, everyone's involved here. So it's really a winnable situation.
And for a list of dumpster locations around the state and other CWD information, we have a link at WBAY.com. Still to come in Action 2 News at 4, an update on the sexual assault kits being tested right here in Wisconsin.
Plus, Fond du Lac police are asking for your help identifying 3 people involved in an armed robbery. Those details next.